Our story begins in the 1964 in the rugged badlands of Montana. A paleontologist named John Ostrom from Yale University was leading a dig team in an area called the Clovelly Formation. They were expecting the usual bunch of slow, lumbering herbivores, but instead they found something different. Sharp claws, long legs, and a tail stiffened like a balancing rod. It didn't fit the dinosaur stereotype. It wasn't a plodding reptile. It looked like a hunter. And right next to it, fossils of a large plant eater, Tenontosaurus. That suggested something extraordinary, that these predators may have hunted in packs. In 1969, Ostrom named it Deinonychus anterobus, which literally means terrible claw counterbalancing. That name was no exaggeration. Deinonychus was around 3 to 3.5 meters long, roughly human height if it stood tall, and about 70 kilograms. So yeah, not as huge as a T-Rex, but absolutely terrifying in its own right. Its tail wasn't just decorative, it acted like a balancing rod, keeping the dinosaur steady during leaps and sharp turns. And its sickle-shaped claw, about 13 centimeters long, the size of a large kitchen knife. It could raise that claw like a switchblade and kick downward with a deadly precision, slashing, pinning, or gripping prey. And unlike the scaly monsters of old movies, Deinonychus likely had feathers. Not for flight, but for display, insulation, and maybe even communication within the pack. Before the discovery of Deinonychus, dinosaurs were seen as prehistoric relics. Slow, lifeless beasts crawling through ancient marshes. Then John Ostrom came along with his discovery and said, "Hold on, this thing looks like it ran, it jumped, it hunted in packs." That one fossil didn't just describe a new species, it ignited what scientists now call the dinosaur renaissance. Ostrom noticed that Deinonychus had features almost identical to modern birds: hollow bones, a wishbone, flexible wrist joint for wing-like motion. That suggested something radical. Birds didn't just evolve from dinosaurs, birds are dinosaurs. His student, Robert Bakker, took the idea even further, popularizing the concept of warm-blooded, fast, intelligent dinosaurs. Basically, Deinonychus turned dinosaurs from monsters into animals, real, complex, fascinating creatures. So, what did Deinonychus actually do in life? Fossils suggest they may have hunted together, but at least gathered around kills. In Montana and Oklahoma, scientists found multiple Deinonychus skeletons clustered with Tenontosaurus remains, hinting at cooperative behavior. But not everyone agrees it was teamwork. Some think these fossils might show feeding frenzies, like modern crocodiles, chaotic and competitive rather than coordinated. Either way, it's clear Deinonychus wasn't a loner. It was a social, dynamic animal, interacting with others of its kind, whether as allies or rivals. Here's where pop culture crashes into science. The raptors in Jurassic Park? Yeah, those aren't velociraptors. They're Deinonychus in disguise. When author Michael Crichton was writing Jurassic Park, he was fascinated by Ostrom's research. But Velociraptor sounded cooler for a movie, so that's the name he used. So technically, every time you see those smart, man-sized dinosaurs on screen, you're watching Deinonychus stealing the spotlight. And honestly, he earned it. In Path of Titans, Deinonychus feels exactly how paleontologists imagined it behaved. It's fast, coordinated, and lethal when it strikes from the shadows. It's a hit-and-run predator. You can't out-muscle bigger dinosaurs, but you can outsmart them. Use ambushes, teamwork, and timing, just like a real Deinonychus might have done 115 million years ago. And check out the animations. That forward lean, the tail balance, the quick claw strikes, all based on actual paleontological data. The devs didn't just make a cool dino, they made a playable scientific interpretation. If John Ostrom were alive today, he'd probably be thrilled to see his terrible claw sprinting across your screen. Deinonychus did more than just hunt and roar. It changed how we understand evolution, intelligence, and what dinosaurs really were. Without it, we might still picture dinosaurs as lumbering beasts instead of the complex, feathered ancestors of modern birds. From ancient Montana to modern gaming screens, Deinonychus' legacy has lasted over 100 million years and counting. And that's the story of Deinonychus, the dinosaur that changed everything. If you enjoyed learning while watching it in action, drop a like, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which dinosaur should we feature next in Path of Titans? Until next time, keep those claws sharp and your packs even sharper.